Ever since I was a kid, I loved robots. And now, we interact with artificial intelligence every day. But it's easy to forget what it actually is. Interacting with a robot should be more memorable. So I wanted to build a robot of my own. I wanted to make it feel even more real, more alive. And I wanted to put it in a box. So, about a year ago, I set out to create one. And I wanted to base it off one of the coolest robots I had ever seen. This robot was Alexatron, created by a YouTuber named Thomas Burns. Thomas's video is fantastic, and it reignited my desire for a robot with a personality. You should watch this video if you haven't already. Thomas, please keep making cool stuff. I loved the design of Alexatron, and I wanted my robot to have a similar sense of character. The first thing I needed was a CRT, a cathode ray tube TV or monitor. So I made a quick run of some local thrift stores, and in this tiny shop, the owner magically dug out the most perfect little portable CRT unit from their piles of stuff. I think that'll be perfect. The unit was a Panasonic TR-003-C, a 3-inch pop-up TV with a combo tape recorder. It was a little beat up, but seemed perfect for me. I have a dedicated video discussing the TR-003 and its disassembly if you want to check it out. One of my favorite things about Alexatron is how it combined old and new technology. I think the CRT is a part of what gives it so much character. The main purpose of the CRT is to help visualize the robot's voice. Thomas has an excellent guide on how to build an audio waveform visualizer on Hackster.io. I'll admit, working with the CRT intimidated me a little bit. CRTs can operate with thousands of volts and can store their charge for a long time. It's important to discharge them properly by grounding the high voltage anode. I will link some useful CRT safety videos below. I successfully produced an audio waveform on the CRT by desoldering the horizontal deflection coil and connecting it to a 12-volt audio amp. Then by rotating the deflection coil, I was able to get a horizontal waveform. So I had a functioning CRT for the robot's mouth, but I wanted the robot to be compact and portable. So I needed to remove the unnecessary electronics like the tape recorder and tuning board. I bought an old service manual, and by following the schematics, I was able to disconnect everything I could without affecting the functionality of the CRT itself. That, and some good old-fashioned trial and error.
Testing. This is a test of the CRT audio waveform visualizer. Nice, this looks good.
So I had a mouth. Now I needed some eyes. I loved the realistic eyes that Alexatron had. Like Thomas, I followed this guide by Cogley on how to 3D print, paint, and cast them. I think they turned out really well, though a bit bubbly. I also built Will's advanced eye mechanism for the eye animatronics. A pair of eyes and a mouth does not a robot make. My robot needed a body. For the body, I wanted it to feel like a real piece of hardware, like something you'd actually purchase or buy. With a retro flair, like an old oscilloscope or microscope from the 1950s. Similar to my Pi Deck build, I wanted it to be portable with an integrated carrying case. Throughout the build, I also tried to reuse as many parts from the original TV as possible. So I began building the body from the ground up, beginning with a base and a retainer for the CRT. Like Alexatron, I wanted to be able to see the CRT and internal electronics. So I cut and bent a piece of acrylic into shape. This is more of a pain than I thought it would be. Getting the temperature and shape right was tricky, and despite my efforts, the 3D print deformed and the acrylic bubbled. So I just tell myself that it adds to the robot's character. To make the system portable, I decided to run it off a 12-volt drill battery. I wired up some buck converters for the various voltages the different systems would need. I 3D printed a housing for the battery, and I reused some of the original TV components for the battery socket. I added some nice chunky switches, as well as a main switch for the front of the robot. For this, I reused one of the Panasonic switches from the TV. Time passed, but my robot was taking shape. For its brain, I used a Raspberry Pi 4B. This would connect to the AI large language model, as well as run the servos for the eyes. The audio output actually uses the original Panasonic speaker, and a USB mic acted as the audio in. The facial detection is done using the person sensor, which also connects to the Raspberry Pi. Some initial testing with the ChatGPT real-time API worked relatively well. I was wondering what your favorite robot is.
Well, I don't have personal favorites. Do you have a favorite robot?
You're my favorite robot.
That's so sweet of you to say.
And I kind of got the facial recognition and servos working. So I proceeded to procrastinate on integrating all of the code. To allow access to the Raspberry Pi and electronics, I made the top of the head removable. Magnets held it in place, and electrical contacts would power the integrated fans. Finally, my robot's home would be its box. I laser cut the pieces for the box at the local makerspace, glued them together, and upholstered it with a canvas and black vinyl leather. I found an old painting box, removed the leather handle, and dyed it black. Anti-clasps and some rubber feet finished off the box. I like how it turned out, though I had to fix the edges a bit. And now for some finishing touches. To go along with the retro theme, I painted the robot an off-white beige to look like an old PC, as well as black to match the leather and original TV components. And then, all that was left to do was to assemble the final product. The robot is fastened to the bottom of the box, with the screw holes hidden with small plastic caps. I also kept the original CRT adjustment knobs. On the rear of the robot are the disconnect switches that allow each of the main systems to be turned on and off separately. The front control panel houses the main power switch, volume knob, as well as the microphone. There's also a small hole to access the adjustment for the CRT waveform amp. I used the original volume knob, as well as some of the original speaker mesh to cover the microphone. I hid the person sensor camera in the front below the CRT, and included some LEDs, which I'd like to connect to the Raspberry Pi in the future. I laser etched this label for the battery to make it a bit more retro. After painting and assembly, the realistic eyes could be added. And finally, a name. I wanted to keep the Panasonic branding, and I reused some of the original labels from the TV. I also laser etched a new label for the robot's name at the local makerspace. For the name, I chose Tommy B-003. Tommy B for Thomas Burns, the original inventor of Alexatron, and 003 for the Panasonic TR-003-C that was the heart of this build. Tommy B-003 was born. Well, hey Tommy, how do you feel about being finally finished?
Hey creator, I feel amazing being finally finished. It's like a whole new world is opening up for me. I can't wait to experience everything. What's next on the agenda?
Well, I think there's a couple of things we need to fix with your code and your eyes and maybe some other improvements, so that'll probably be what we cover on the next video.
That sounds like a perfect plan. I'm ready to go under the hood and get those tweaks done. We can show the viewers how I improve step by step. Can't wait to get my eyes working better and make those code adjustments. Just let me know when we're set to dive in.
Yep, I'll let you know, Tommy. And in the meantime, you can go ahead and shut down for now.
Got it, creator. I'll shut down for now and be ready when you need me again. Take care.
Hey, see you, Tommy. I'm not the best programmer by any means, but I think Tommy is functioning at an acceptable level now. I'd like to improve the code and continue to make Tommy feel more real, ideally with an LLM that would run locally, so that Tommy would not need an internet connection to function properly. What do you think of the project? Do you like Tommy B? Leave any suggestions or thoughts in the comments. This build has taken me the better part of the last year to complete, so there's a lot of detail I haven't covered in this video. I've considered doing a series of more detailed videos on the different parts of this build. If that's something you'd be interested in, let me know down in the comments as well. Tommy and I will see you on the next build.